to share my screen. Okay, now I can. All right.
Nazanin, it's done. Game share screen. Okay.
Try. See if it's broadcasting as well.
Okay, we have got these shared screens, Nazanin. Thank you so much. You please carry on.
Great, thank you. So, thank you so much for your time and for being here today and giving me the opportunity. So, I know that there are quite a few CEOs, meal managers, and technical experts in this room, and you're the people who shape the future of the industry in your region. So, I want to make sure that your time is also spent purposeful. So without that more delay, I will dive into my topic. So I think I start with a simple question. If your meals margin were going to shrink by 15 to 22% in just, let's say, 2 years, would you know about it already today? So that's the question. It's not a hypothetical question. That's what the EU Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, shortened CBAM, actually applies. The meals that are not prepared, then they will be impacted. And the first declaration due is in September 2027. So I'm sharing this since I'm based in Europe and it might be something that you also look into. I will do a deep dive to that as well. And there's also some good news. So if the meals that are acting now, they are not just the survivors of this impact, but they also will be the leaders. So what I also going to do is that I'm going to show you how ABB data-driven solutions can help you to turn the biggest threats facing in the industry to your competitive advantage. And I will be also specific with numbers, timelines, and steps that you can take starting even this week. So starting with the burning platform, why industries must act now. So the pulp and paper industry is facing multiple threats, and they are not arriving not just one by one, but they are hitting simultaneously. The first is the import surge. So there is a low-cost import that also coming to India. I think the Chinese are very active in that sector. And there is making the local market a bit smaller, but also they're squeezing the margin. And mills that cannot differentiate on the quality or carbon footprints, they will lose the ground very fast. The second one is the raw material scarcity. The fiber availability is tightening. It's a commodity and depends on how available it is. The price is a driving cost for you. And recycled fiber in India is compared to other regions, it's quite low. So it's 27%. So the recovery is not very competitive. And there is a massive gap, which inflates again the cost, and it creates also supply chain vulnerability for your industry. The third one is the energy cost. Energy is one of the largest operating expenses in any mill. I also work globally, not just for Europe, because we have global customers and I interact with them, and energy is always a price driver. And since the AI boom and resurfacing so many data centers, the prices got even more volatile. Also consider all these wars going on, so it's not something that's going to disappear. They are there, they stay volatile, and we don't see in a short term or even mid-term that this will change. And the mills that they don't have a real-time energy optimization are leaving significant money on the table every single day. I will come to that as well. The first one is the low recycling rates, as I mentioned briefly in the other point. Beyond the cost, the recycling gap also has an impact on the sustainability topic. It increases the dependence on the import and makes it harder for you to meet your ESG targets. And the fifth one is basically the one that we mentioned, so the BAM in 2028. That's for the ones who want to be in the European market, want to be an exporter to Europe. And it deserves to emphasize Indian mills are exporting to EU, but they emit on average 0.75 tons of CO2 per ton that they are exporting. So if you look at the carbon price in Europe, it's 60 to 80, predicted to be much more expensive in the coming years. It adds, I would say, with the exchanger, approximately 200 to 250 rupiah per ton of exports. So if you are doing a high volume export to Europe, the margin erosion can be between 15 to 22%. So then we are talking about the timelines. These are not something in the very late future. We are talking about the risk that the timelines are very visible, the material scarcity, the energy cost, the recycling gap, and some actions need to be taken, I would say, between 12 to 24 months. And for the carbon programs of Europe, it's actually more critical, and there should be some readiness in place if you want to be a player in the market by 2027. So, on a nutshell, if the industry waits, they will be the losers, and the industry that moves now, they can win. And then I will then show you how. So, if we flip the picture, the same forces that are creating this pressure can also be an opportunity for the mills that position themselves correctly. So we discussed about the India's paper market projection of 42 billion by 2035. And there are some also references that the e-commerce packaging will grow at 19% CAGR. At the same time, there is the single-use of plastic ban. Sooner or later, it will come and be more restricted. In Europe, it's very restricted, and I would say if we all want to survive in a sustainable planet, it should be actually everywhere. And which is an opportunity for you because then pulp and paper is the alternative to the plastic. And we will see also the per capita paper consumption in India is below the global average. So it means that there is a structure and sustained demand ahead that will come to you. On the other hand, we are looking at globally the premium low carbon paper product is real. The mills that are verified low carbon footprint can get to 15 to 20% price premium in EU market thanks to the CBAM. Then recently there was also the EU-India Free Trade Agreement signed, which opens that for you, that enables you so the premium green markets even further. So the question is to you whether to invest in sustainability and digitalization, and it's not that question, but it's also it's about how fast and how smart you can do that. There are 4 strategic scenarios that we have modeled for the 2026 to 2030, and all point to the same conclusion that the mills that combine digital capabilities, decarbonization, and flexible operation will capture the most of this value. I will come to that with more detail. And the ones that delay this might face some difficulties to be profitable. That's something we also saw in Europe that led to a lot of pulp and paper plant closures. Now, how do we see this, the mill of future? In ABB, we kind of see the trend and the experience with our customers that this setup of just producing and the tonnage is not a thing anymore. It's about the value, so what you produce, how it is valued in the market. So I want you to be introduced to this concept, which is part of everything that we do, to shift from the volume-centric mill to a more value-driven operation. So I would say most of the mills today still are focused on the tonnage that they produce. And the mill of the future will ask a different question. What is the most valuable product that I can make on this specific hour with this specific input, given that today's market price or energy cost is telling me to operate? So the shift is from tonnage to value is enabled via a real-time digital optimization. And in the ABB Future Vision, Future Mill Vision, this platform integrates all these inputs. So we are talking about recycled fiber, virgin pulp, agricultural residuals, alternative fiber, and it's about to continuously optimize the output mix. And the output is just not tonnage. We see multiple ways to have a value. Okay, yeah. So the high value outputs like dissolving pulp, nanocellulose, lignin, bio-based molecules, they all can generate significantly higher margin than the commodity, which in our case is the paper grade. And on the energy side, it actually gets very interesting. Is for the mill managers and technical experts in the room, your mill can become an active participant in the Indian electricity market. And I would say, right here. So India's electricity market is estimated at 50,000 crore annually. And it's a single large mill through just a demand response mechanism and frequency regulation services can generate 40 to 100 crore per year. And that doesn't require a huge capital expenditure to just get started with this setup. And on the current waste, let's say on the tile or lignin or peripheral, methanol, biochar, they can be also converted to chemicals, biofuels, and also carbon credits in some cases. And we are estimating there is also a high potential of 500 to 1,000 crore. And this is what we mean. As we say, the mill of future is not just a paper producer, it's an energy producer, and it's a material platform. Now, moving what we actually do and how. So, I can be a bit more specific, just an example here about tools and technologies that we bring. I will cover here fiber quality, process control, energy efficiency, and grid integration. So this is just an example of what can each of these solutions do and how you can face them or how you can implement them depends on what is the priority for you, what is the cost driver, what is the economic value specific to your region, and the market you want to be. And this is from analyzing the fiber to grid integration to have a circular factory architecture. So an example on the fiber quality, the Nazanin Fiber Tester Plus. So what we do is that we are using the data coming out of the testing system, the fiber length and the correspondence and the fine content to be more precise on the recycling the material and to analyze real time the incoming waste paper. And it helps you to build an optimized fiber recipe that reduce the raw material cost even up to 15 to 20%. And we are looking at the paybacks that normally are under 1.5 years. And looking at the price of the material increasing, I would say that even the ROI will sit sooner. It's not nice to have when recycled fiber prices are volatile, the quality is not consistent, and having a real-time fiber data is a difference between a profitable batch and something that is actually a costly. Looking at the process control, our process control system provides a unified control for your entire mill from wood yard to daily, and one integrated system, one data layer, and one source of truth. It eliminates this kind of a silo situation that cause quality inconsistency and production inefficiency, and you can get a full visibility and control through entire your total operation. So, and on top of this, we move on. The advanced process control. It uses the model predictive control to continuously optimize the chemicals usage, the yield, the product quality, and the data shows being able to save more than a $2.5 per ton, which adds up quickly at the scale. And then as we talk about energy efficiency, using more energy efficient and controllable assets helps you to have a variable speed frequency drives with a higher efficiency motors delivers you 15 to 25% energy savings on critical equipment like pumps, like fans, refiners, and it also extends the motor life, which reduces your maintenance cost. And putting all this together, these are just some examples of the case studies, and enable yourself to participate in the energy market with the real-time visibility to the energy consumption across your mail, with the forecasting and procurement optimization built in. The payback is also typically measured in months, so not years. So this is an example from a site environmental. This is a European containerboard producer based in Austria, and they could significantly reduce their energy costs with our solution. Then we have the SDA restaurant in Sweden, where they use the DCS and they ensure the fully integrated quality consistency, and they were able to make their process more stable at the scale. The Indonesian mill deployed our advanced process control want to mention is also a European player. And here is to emphasize that the energy participation for this site is so lucrative that that's the main thing they do now. So producing actual paper or board product is a secondary for them because the payback here is much bigger and the business is much more lucrative. So how does it look like in action? The investment roadmap, what's its cost, how do you get back? So it might sound compelling, what does it actually cost, where do I get it back? I would say it can be broken down into multiple phases and each project can fund the other at each stage. So it can be a stage in a way that you have early return of investment, and then that can be also tailored to the mill because what we do is that we also analyze your business. So looking at the mills, just an example, for the large ones, we each produce over 500 tons per day. We are looking at a payback of 5% to enable them. And then there are like a mid-scale mills. Again, these are just suggestions that we will look into. It takes for them longer because they produce less. But also there are the paybacks that are attractive. And the smaller ones, I think, for them it's more a survival setup. So, and there's security prioritize the productive use and also the specialty that they're producing. Normally it's harder to have more flexibility, and then probably the more tailored setup would be more applicable for them. And critically for our goals, want to start in zero capital outlay. They need to, I highly suggest that they join India's demand response program today. There is not a lot of capital required, and we are talking about 15 to 30 per annual review. And that's an immediate impact. You have money right away. So the numbers are clear, and the question is not whether the investment makes sense. The question is which phase you start with and how quickly. So in the industry that is heading by 2030, I need to paint a picture then what does it mean to lead. So if they say that India's market is gonna reach 25 to 42 billion, the consumption will reach 30 million tons, and 200 to 300 new mills or expansions are expected. The leading mill will share these characteristics. One is that they have achieved at least 45% recycled fiber recovery. So they are at the higher average than they are right now, the baseline they are right now. And then they are saving on the imports in the industry. The second one is that they will generate 105 to 165 crore a year by participating in the demand response and grid services, and they have new revenue streams. And the third one is that the ones that are into and invested in a European market, they can upgrade with the price tag with a premium. If they comply with the CDAM from being a threat to them by being a competitive advantage. And The first one is that there will be operating fully digital and flexible platform, and they are able to shift between products, maintaining energy in real time, but also maximizing value from the inputs and variables that are dictated from the market today. And this ABB's role in this vision is clear. We are integrated technology partner, from fiber to grid, from process control to carbon reporting, and we provide end-to-end solutions. And we also provide step-by-step and measurable returns at every stage. So I want to close this with something concrete where we are living today. There are 5 actions that you can take right away. So you can request us for an energy assessment to look into the saving potential you have, your posture, you have a demand response eligibility, but also look into your sustainability posture and the area, if there's a gap or not. Then I would say evaluate also your incoming bank paper on the fiber side. If you're not measuring the fiber quality at the gate, then you're flying blind in your bigger raw material, in your process later. Then joining the demand response network within the India and the grid services. And there is no reason to wait on this one. And feel free to speak to our experts. Some of them are maybe there and could not be, unfortunately. And they can guide you through this journey. And one last word, I think the mills that we believe in 2030 are making decisions today. And the technology exists, the returns are proven and they're clear, and the market is moving. So we just need to select the right partner for this. With that, I hope I'm in time. Thank you.